Hi, good morning everyone, and welcome to Jason's Lockdown Larder. Now, a lot of people have been liking and enjoying my short videos, but there are certain things that you need longer videos to explain. I love talking, so I thought I'd do one. Anyway, people have asked me why I'm doing some of these videos, and let me quickly explain. I've got two daughters, Rachel and Jessica, name check, and we started doing some cookery lessons. Because, well, not lessons, they can cook, but we went through some of the family recipes and we went through some basics and some more complex stuff. But of course, we're all on lockdown now and we can't continue with it. So I thought that I would share some of these videos, and if you all like them, lovely. If only they like them, that's lovely too. So people have been telling me that they find it hard to get yeast, and people have quite enjoyed baking at the moment, and they would like to bake their own bread. So I've come up with a no yeast, fail safe bread, and I'll give you the ingredients first and then I'll show you how to make it. So first of all, we need 450 grams, I nearly said milliliters, 450 grams of flour. I've used plain flour. The reason I've used plain flour is at the moment I can't get wholemeal flour. In actual fact, I found it very difficult to get plain flour. Then I went into my lovely local Turkish shop, and he has got plain flour coming out of his ears. And I bought this giant 5 kilo bag of flour, and that was about £4.50. So what I would say is try and support your local people, have a look in some of your local stores, and you never know what you're going to find. Now, I'll start with 450 grams of plain flour today. We need 150 mils of milk. We can use semi-skimmed, skimmed, or full fat. Depends what you've got, but you can use any of them. Next ingredient, we need 150 mils of plain yogurt. I'm using Greek yogurt. If you haven't got yogurt, you might have some sour cream. You might have knocked up a quick Mexican the other night, got some sour cream and don't know what to do with it. Well, you can use 150 mils of sour cream. You could also use buttermilk if you've got buttermilk, but obviously it's a bit harder to find. You will then need 1.5 teaspoons of fine salt, 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and you need to watch this video to learn how to do it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our dry ingredients in. So we'll pop our salt in to our flour. We get 1 teaspoon bicarb. We only need a level teaspoon. Okay, pop that in, and then we give it a nice little mix around. Okay, while we're mixing it around, I would suggest that we make a small well in the middle. So everything's mixed, we've got a little well going on in the middle. Okay, next thing, take 150 mils of milk, and then we're going to mix in 150 mils of plain yogurt. Okay, nearly there. Just about going to make it, I think, which is handy. But that's a great way of using up any ingredients that you've got left over. Now we give that a nice stir up. Okay, and in the end we wind up with something that's got the consistency of pouring cream. Trying to do it as quietly as possible. It's not working, is it? Okay, next thing we do is, I've got one of these silicone spoons which work really well. All right, we start pouring it in, and then we start folding in the mix. Okay, so fold it all in, and then pour a bit more in. Okay, folding in the mix. Lovely. And we'll keep that going. Pour it all in. Now, the one thing I didn't tell you is that at some point you are going to have to get your hands involved. Okay, I forgot to bring flour out, so I'm going to nickel just a little bit for dusting. That's it, lovely. Right, so be a bit patient at this point. Try not to do it in the garden because some of it blows away. Okay, so now I'm going to have to get in with my hands at this point. As you'll see, you'll look at it and think, will that ever come together? Trust me, it will be amazing. All right, we're getting there. Nobody told me that cooking, sitting down and having the dog barking in the background it's going to be this difficult. Okay, it's coming together lovely. All right. Perfect. Now, at this point, because I'm working in quite a small bowl, pour it onto me. Onto my dish. Fabulous. So now we've got our dough. That's taken about 3 or 4 minutes to get to that. We don't need to knead it. All right, let's create a nice kind of ball shape and then just press down a bit, okay? So that gives us a perfect shape for our loaf. Right, lovely. Now you'll see there's a few cracks, few kind of knobbly bits. Don't worry, that's character, is what I call it anyway. But also it's flavour, because as it cracks, the knobbly bits are going to get crunchy and crispy and taste delicious. So get yourself a baking tray. You can either use a shallow one like this. I've got a pot here, okay, that sometimes I use, but I'm not using it today because I know more people will have something like this. Okay, put a liner on it. It can be one of these silicone liners if you've got one. If you haven't, put baking parchment. If you haven't got either of those things, get some butter, grease the dish, okay, just to give you that extra little bit of non-stickiness. Okay, so place that bread on a baking dish, pressing it down a bit. At this time you will need a knife. If you've got a pastry cutter, you can do it with that, but we've all got a knife. I'm using a big one. If you've only got like a normal dinner knife, use that. We're going to cut across in it, okay? So right in the middle, you just push down halfway, not all the way, and out, turn it round, halfway, and out, okay? And that is our perfect bread. Now we're going to put this in the oven at 180 degrees. I've got a particularly hot oven, so my oven tends to cook very quickly. I'm putting it in for 30 minutes. I would suggest that you do the same and then you check it, but we will check it on 30 minutes and I will show you the perfect way to see whether your bread is cooked or not. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay, welcome back. We've had 30 minutes. So let's have a look in the oven. There's a dog barking outside. Let's have a look in the oven and see what we've got. You've probably seen my legs. I've got my shorts on, it's quite a warm day. Okay, looking amazing. Where we made our cuts, it's opened up, all right, lovely and crusty, and that has cooked all the way through. Okay, let's get it out and I'll show you exactly how to work out whether it is cooked or not. So without sounding patronising, it's always good to use the tools that God gave us. So the first thing we need to do is use our eyes, have a good look at it. Looks to me absolutely perfect and well done. Let's flip it over on both sides. Now, another one of the tools that we have just in our body is our ears. So let's have a quick listen. Okay, so that sounds, okay, like an empty drum, and that tells us that it's cooked all the way through. Now, I'm gonna hold that up. We could cut that open, eat it hot, put some butter on it, oozing through, and it would be outstanding. But I want to eat this for lunch, and I'm going to go for my daily walk first, take the dog for a walk, because as you heard before, He's barking and going absolutely mad, needs to get out. So I'm going to put this on a cooling rack. Cooling rack is here. I'm just going to show you something actually. Cooling rack is here. Just take the top of your grill out, okay, if you haven't got a cooling rack, which is exactly what I've done, because we need something that circulates the air underneath and on the top and on the sides, so we don't get a soggy bit and it steams, okay? So you need something that's going to circulate the air around it while it cools. We're going to go for our daily walk, and when we come back, we're going to be cutting it open and seeing what it's like. But if it tastes as good as it looks, it's going to be fantastic. Okay, so we've just come back from our walk. Bread is now cooled, and it's time to have a little look inside. Okay, as you can see, that's perfectly cooked inside. Oh God, that looks absolutely delicious. Right, so let's have a little taste, because the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Right, lovely. Let's have a feel. Beautiful consistency. A little bit of butter. Cut that bit off. Okay, let's try it. God, it's delicious. You have to try this if you can't get yeast. It's amazing.